At Brookhaven Daycare, the morning started like any other. But Jessie, the teacher, knew every day was an adventure with her group of kids. Theodore, the little entrepreneur, sat at a corner table with a stack of Monopoly money. He was busily counting and organizing his cash, occasionally trying to charge the other kids to play with certain toys. "Zoe, you owe me $3 if you want to use the red blocks," Theodore said. Zoe, immersed in her latest storybook, barely lifted her head. "I'm reading The Great Adventures of Captain Courage. I don't need your blocks." Nearby, Masha sat on the colorful rug, holding her stuffed monkey tight. She whispered stories to him, pretending they were on a grand jungle adventure. "Look, Mr. Bananas, we found treasure," she said, making her stuffed monkey bounce with excitement. Susie, on the other hand, was digging into her bag of Doritos, munching happily, and offering a chip to Masha. "Want one?" she asked, her fingers dusted with orange powder. Masha shook her head. "Mr. Bananas doesn't like Doritos." At the back of the room, Pablo and JJ, the silent pair, sat together. As always, they communicated in their own quiet way, pointing at pictures and nodding to each other. Jessie had learned to understand their silent world. Sometimes a simple nod was all they needed to share a whole conversation. Then there was Bobby, the daycare's resident troublemaker, or as Jessie liked to say, the creative thinker. Today, he was at it again, quietly sticking googly eyes on the toy dinosaurs when no one was looking. As Theodore turned around, Bobby placed one of the dinosaurs in front of him. "Roar," Bobby said, holding back a grin. Theodore jumped but quickly recovered. "Bobby," he groaned, but Bobby was already sneaking off to his next prank, giggling to himself. Jessie glanced around the room with a fond smile. She had been teaching at Brookhaven Daycare for years, and she knew every quirk and quibble these kids had. Theodore's obsession with money, Zoe's love for books, Masha's imaginative world with her stuffed monkey, Susie's endless supply of Doritos, Pablo and JJ's quiet bond, and Bobby's mischief. It all made each day unique. By lunchtime, the room was a whirlwind of noise and activity. Jessie clapped her hands for attention. "All right, everyone, time for lunch." Theodore tried to sell his apple slices to Zoe, who was still reading. Susie shared her Doritos with Masha, while Pablo and JJ silently passed their food to each other in perfect sync. Bobby, of course, was caught trying to slip a googly eye into his sandwich. As Jessie sat down to eat, she marveled at the small, wonderful chaos around her. Every child brought something special to the table, and in their own way, they created a perfect balance at Brookhaven Daycare. And though the days were busy and sometimes unpredictable, Jessie wouldn't have had it any other way.